told that Schumacher has told the team over the radio on the slowing down lap that he is going to retire. It's now official, apparently. A press release is going out as we speak. Schumacher is retiring from Formula One.
He can't stand for anyone else to win.
I think Michael has no bad days.
You need to do everything perfect to beat him.
He doesn't know where the line is between hard but fair or ruthless but foul.
He's the strongest as a package.
It's not just the driving, you know, he works very hard with the team.
Very, very, very special individual and a great sportsman and a great athlete.
That's what makes a world champion, and I'd be disappointed if he was the other way.
Michael Schumacher has retired after 15 years. In that time, he's won 7 championships and become the undisputed king of Formula One. The Brazilian Grand Prix Interlagos, the last race of the 2006 season, and there's a chance Michael could make it 8 titles. Michael has a mountain to climb.
The Brazilian Grand Prix of 2006 is underway.
He starts 10th. Then a puncture ends his title hopes.
You're riding on board with one of the greats, if not the greatest racing driver in the history of Formula One.
And he finishes 4th. Michael Schumacher's Formula One career is over. But how will he be remembered? Motor racing hero or villain?
What Michael done today was amazing, you know, I mean, I don't understand why the guy stopped.
I will miss him definitely a lot.
He's been terrific for the sport.
It started more quietly, 37 years ago, in a little German village just outside Cologne. Michael Schumacher came from an unpromising racing pedigree. Dad, Rolf, was a bricklayer, and Mum, Elizabeth, worked in a cafe at the local kart track. It looked like he'd follow his dad into the brickyard, but then Rolf built Michael a go-kart for his 4th birthday. Michael took to the sport instantly, showing talent and speed and even an early skill in handling the media. It quickly became a family affair. Dad built the karts, Michael won in them. Even Michael's chubby little brother got in on the act.
When I really started to do kart races, it was nice when he joined sometimes. I mean, he tried to give some help as much as it was possible. It's always difficult to work together with your brother sometimes.
It was at this time Michael spotted another young karter at the World Championships, someone whose skill Michael instantly recognised and respected, Ayrton Senna. By the mid-80s, Michael had won almost everything in karting, and his talent soon demanded a higher rung on the racing ladder. In Formula Ford and Formula Koenig, Michael won a string of victories that lifted him into Formula 3, and his first major success. A hard-fought battle with a young Mika Häkkinen at the Micheal Grand Prix of 1989. At the same time, Michael Schumacher also raced sports cars for Mercedes-Benz, and his name began to appear on the Formula One radar, although not always for the right reasons.
I was not sure he could make it. He was in there in a team with Frentzen and Wendlinger, and there was no evidence that he was quicker than them.
But that didn't stop Eddie Jordan giving Michael his first Formula One drive, the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa in 1991, although for reasons based more on commerce than talent.
We needed somebody to pay for the engine bills and the tyre bills. He was about the only one who could do that. He paid, he got in the car. I'd love to claim it was all to do with talent. It's not true. I needed the money, but I did know he was a good quality driver, and the rest is obviously now history.
It was Michael's first time in a Formula One car, and he qualified a quite incredible 7th. Unfortunately, the honeymoon was soon over. And Michael Schumacher's Grand Prix has ended on the first lap. The German is out. But it had been enough to prompt other teams' interests, and for the very next race, a young Flavio Briatore poached Michael for his Benetton team.
And off the road goes Micheal Schumacher, regained it, didn't he? Martin Brundle goes through into third place.
He was a difficult teammate because he was so fast, quite strong in the head, a little bit obnoxious sometimes. He had a bit of a shine about him every time he got out of the car.
Everything okay?
I enjoyed working with him as a teammate, actually, but there were some aspects. He drove me off the road a couple of times, but generally we got on well, and I think we achieved a lot in '92.
And just a year after his first Grand Prix appearance, Micheal claimed his first victory.
The first win ever for Micheal Schumacher, and he puts his arm out, and he is naturally elated.
The '92 season saw Micheal battling the young Carter who'd so impressed him years before, Ayrton Senna. Respect grew between the two, even if Senna didn't always like Micheal's style, most explosively at the 1992 French Grand Prix. But it was a lasting respect, obvious to see years later when an emotional Schumacher equalled Senna's record of 41 victories. In 1993, he finished 4th behind Prost, Senna and Hill, and '94 saw an older, if not always wiser, Micheal, finishing 2nd in the Spanish Grand Prix despite being stuck in 5th gear. His driving was spectacular. But how he went about winning wasn't always so impressive. Most famously at that year's title decider, the final race of the season in Adelaide, where Micheal was battling Damon Hill for the championship.
He is gifted but flawed. Don't like his default where he runs people off the road when he's in trouble. I always felt he was so good, he didn't need to do that, and I think it's damaged what would be probably the most glittering career ever in Formula One.
Look, Schumacher's off, Schumacher's lost time, yeah. Hill goes by. Oh, out goes Schumacher. The German is out of the Australian Grand Prix, and Damon Hill only has to keep going to be world champion of 1994, but can he keep going as Damon Hill retires from the Australian Grand Prix, and the 1994 World Championship has been won, a lot of people will say by default. Micheal Schumacher scarcely able to believe his luck.
It would not be the last time Micheal would be accused of cheating. But for the time being, Benetton and Schumacher were unstoppable. The next year saw 9 wins, 11 podiums, and another ballsy battle with Damon Hill for the title.
Hill hits Schumacher, they both go off! They both go off! Amazing! Hill attacked, saw his opportunity. Schumacher running up to the Williams. Now, is he going to have words with Damon Hill? And there's going to be a big discussion about this as a disgusted, angry Micheal Schumacher walks back with Damon Hill, and the crowd are delighted.
Despite appearances on the track, there was a deep respect between the two drivers. But 1995 was Micheal's year again, and championship number 2. It looked like the beginning of a lasting relationship between Micheal, Flavio and Benetton, but Micheal had other ideas.
It was a difficult decision for me to leave Benetton, but I felt, and I still feel this, it matters to me how I achieve something, how I win the races, and I was looking for that particular challenge. This is the best option to achieve something for the future.
And a challenge is what he got. When Micheal joined Ferrari, they were a struggling team. But then, Micheal and Ferrari began one of the most impressive comebacks in Formula One history. But it would be hard work.
He was one of the first, I think, to really work in every area he could think of, training and pushing the team as hard as he could, and spending, night and day trying to improve the car.
I think his application was at a different level to anyone prior to him, and that was both in the car and outside the car. I think he took his involvement with the team and his work with the engineers to a new level. It's not unusual for Micheal to be here 10, 11 o'clock on a Saturday night.